Great, here we are. It's Benicia, California. We are in June. It's Father's Day, June 16th. We're currently headed to an event that is sponsored by the California State Park Week. And they had a series of events, and this was one that was nearby where we were traveling. So we're going to go on an interpretive nature walk with a state park ranger or volunteer at the Benicia State Recreation Area, which I believe we are here right now.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, wow. Rabbit foot grass.
Who's that?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Hello, good morning.
It's the State of the State Parks podcast with Chris
and Mo.
Hello, world, and hello, Mo.
Hi.
Today, Mo and I take you with us on our trip to the Benicia State Recreation Area, or the SRA.
It was a windy day at the Benicia SRA.
Our audio recordings were all over the place because we're still new.
We weren't even planning on going to the Benicia SRA, but our good friend Eric alerted us to the fact that it was State Parks Week in California. So we logged on and discovered an abundance of offerings and events all throughout the Golden State. This amazing opportunity to take a guided nature walk through the park was the perfect thing for us.
Benicia SRA has some cool history. Before the year 1800, historians estimated around 3,300 of the southern Patwin tribe lived in the area.
From 1800 to 1820, Spanish colonization.
About 70% of the SRA is marsh, surrounded by rolling grass hills and, don't forget, a bunch of water. With clay deposits more than 1,000 feet thick, everything that loves a marsh loves this place.
14 different tributaries of the Sacramento and San Joaquin rivers convene and flow through the Carquinez Strait, right past the Benicia State Recreation Area.
We're going to wait to give you the history of the town of Benicia until next episode when we go on the tour of the Benicia Capital State Historic Park with a very familiar host.
All right, enough talk. We will start our journey at Benicia SRA with Chris and I identifying plants before our guide shows up.
All right, so we're at the Benicia State Recreation Area. We're waiting for the 10 a.m. guided hike. The views are amazing. We've got a couple porta potties.
I just tagged this Harding grass over here. Have you had this before?
I haven't tagged the Harding grass. So what is this we already had here?
Tall flat sedge.
Huh.
And then this
take
is
a picture of that.
Harding grass.
We'll take a picture of the tall flat sedge. That's new to us. And then you got tall Harding grass.
Just Harding grass.
And what about this grass down here?
Oh, wow, that's new.
These little fuzzy cattails.
Those guys are cute. Rabbit foot grass.
Rabbit foot grass.
That totally makes sense.
All right, Benicia. That's cute.
You gotta touch it.
It's soft.
That's so soft, like a little rabbit's foot.
That feels just like a rabbit's foot. What else do you see? What is that?
Willows?
Willows or wattles? No, it's willows, right? We figured out that willows look like the same leaves as eucalyptus, but they grow like big bushes instead of trees. Okay, what are the different plants that you see?
This looks like a willow.
That's the willow.
Red stems.
Uh-huh.
That
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
different.
Okay, so tag them. We think this is the longleaf willow.
Red willow.
Red
I
willow.
don't think I've had this before.
Red willow is new. Yeah. Okay, and then try the one we think is a pistache.
Yeah, black walnut.
Walnut. All right, I'm going to turn this off. That was a fun little... These are all the things we saw just at the parking lot here. After some sweet plant peeping, we met the Benicia State Recreational Area's State Park interpreter, Julio. Mo and I were the only ones who showed up for this walk, so VIP State of the State Parks Interpreter Walk. Before we hit the trail, Julio took us through some safety talks. Here's a little sampling of the things we talked about.
Because we do have chicks that come, we're going to carry Lyme disease. So I like to say anytime you're walking through anything that is tall grass or very brushy kind of an area, that you take a moment, maybe about 10-15 minutes after finishing crossing, that you do what we call a tick check. You just very quickly brush your front, and if you have a partner with you, brush your back for the most part, so that way if any ticks did happen to grab a hold of your fabric while you were crossing, that you get them off, so that way they don't embed into your skin. Also, we have rattlesnakes here in California. I have not seen any snakes in my many walks through this area. I always encourage people when walking in new areas to bring a walking stick or something. And that is, again, if you ever have to cross a down log or any rocks, you never know what could be hiding. And it's a really easy way to just kind of like check before you cross anything to make sure that nothing is on the other side or below you. And then lastly, poison oak. And again, California has poison oak all over the place. And it does change throughout the year. So poison oak begins when it's in spring, when it's first coming in, is a very beautiful, sometimes kind of reddish undertoned leaf. In the spring, it turns this beautiful green. In the fall, it begins to change again. It grows berries, but it also turns bright red, and then eventually it falls, and all you get left is a stick in the winter. Now you can get a rash from all parts of poison oak, yeah, even just the stick, and that is because the rash is caused by the oil in poison oak and our skin reacting to that oil. Some people are very lucky; they don't get poison oak at all. I had a coworker who could brush through it, cut it, have the sap all over her hands, and never developed a rash. Other people are very, very allergic. I know another coworker of mine who about a half hour after contact will develop the rash. I'm a little more interesting. It takes me about 4 days to develop the rash. Yeah. So for the most part, if I come in contact with it, I'm always like, hopefully I didn't, because I won't find out for 4 days. So typically if I know I'm in an area that has it, I'm mentally take note, like, what have I touched, what have I done, so that way if I did come in contact with it, I know to like go back and clean surfaces or like get rid of things or wash things because, yeah. So
Do you have a lot of that here at Benicia?
so I've only seen very small patches of it, and typically it's hiding amongst the blackberry, and the blackberry also has a leaf of 3, because that is another way of easily identifying it. Leaves of 3, leave it be. The biggest difference is it has thorns. Or if you ever see leaves of 3 with thorns, it is not poison oak, because poison oak doesn't need thorns. It has that natural oil that develops that rash when it's touching.
Ready.
All right, so we're gonna make our way this way. We're gonna start along the trail over here.
And how do you pronounce this name of this park?
So this park is called Benicia
Benicia.
State Recreation Area. It is one of 2 state parks in the city of Benicia, because we have another one that is Benicia Capital State Historic Park. But this one is Benicia State Recreation.
Benicia. As we were driving in, we were saying Benicia. We're probably saying this wrong.
So no, it is. In theory, the name is of Hispanic descent. So if you were saying it with a Hispanic accent, it would be Benicia.
Okay.
But most people call it Benicia. I've also heard Benicia.
Wow, this is quite a tunnel of trees.
Find all our pictures and videos, including this one of the tunnel of trees, on our website, stateofthestateparks.com, under the Galleries tab.
Now these are all blackberries, yeah?
Yes, these are all blackberries.
Not brambles. Brambles are blackberries.
Yes.
We figured this out.
The brambles are the leaves, the blackberries, the fruit.
Yes.
Right.
So this is going to be our first stop, and beginning of our program, I want to give you the definition to what I found for commune, and it is to feel close, almost spiritual contact with something. And for the most part, we were talking about communion with nature, so it would be to feel close and almost get a spiritual contact with nature.
So the wind kicked up and we lost some of what Julio said, but here's the gist of it. There was a study done at Stanford that says people who walk 90 minutes in nature versus 90 minutes in urban areas shows a decrease in brain activity in the part of the brain that's active during episodes of depression. Huh.
Loving it sounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the gentle laps of the water coming through every now and again, hearing the birds chirping.
Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Who's that? Do you know that guy?
He's so tiny.
Want to say it could be an American kestrel.
It sounded like a kestrel, right?
Yeah.
That's a song sparrow. I know that one.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me turn on the old Merlin while we're walking here.
It was an American kestrel. Because we do have kestrels.
That's so cool.
We like to call ourselves Kesty Besties.
Okay.
We saw one in Arizona and became like obsessed.
Yes,
And
yeah,
now
they're
we just want to see one all the time.
amazing,
They're so cute.
small,
Tiny little
birds of
falcons.
prey.
Hey, breaking in here. Once we got home, I played that bird song into the Merlin Bird ID app, and it turns out that bird was called a killdeer. The killdeer is a funny bird. They have a trick to keep predators away from their nests on the ground. When a bird of prey is near, they flop to the ground and pretend to have a broken wing to entice the predator away from the nest. Pretty crafty. It's totally worth a Google search. Kind of hilarious. And what years was Benicia the state capital? Do you know
They
that?
were the capital between 1853, February of 1853, to February of 1854. So literally
1 year.
just
1 year.
over 1 year, yes.
I love it.
And why did they decide to
Why?
back it up?
A lot of the reason why the capital left the city of Benicia had to do with the governor at the time. His name was Governor Bigler. He was California's third governor. He wanted the capital to move to Sacramento. It is said for a few different reasons. One of the reasons was he wanted to make his wife happy, because there's a few writings that exist that say that while he was the governor, they were living in San Francisco, and his wife was unhappy living in San Francisco. The second reason, we believe, was so that he could make some money for the most part. He was one of the most crooked governors, you can say. His time as governor was some of the most corrupt times in politics.
Okay.
Capital did move around quite a bit in California.
Yeah, that was my question,
Yeah.
is why didn't they just keep the capital in San Francisco where all the industry and money and
So
everything
the
was?
capital was actually never officially in San Francisco.
Yeah.
They did meet there every now and again, but it was never an actual capital city.
So interesting.
California's very first capital city is actually the city of Monterrey. Now, Monterrey is the Mexican and before that the Spanish capital of California. It is where politics and religion kind of converged and where they were based at. And they decided to leave there originally because when California decided they wanted to become a state, they were trying to distance themselves from their past. And they wanted to show the U.S. they were moving towards an American future. They were going to let go of all their Hispanic traditions and whatnot, and they're going to move towards this American new way of life. So they decided to move to the city of San Jose, making that their first American capital. They were there for almost 2 years, and then ultimately decided to leave for two big reasons, fleas and mud.
Whoa.
Which I know sounds odd, but that was their two big reasons for leaving.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, and then they go to the city of Vallejo for a few weeks, and then ultimately the city of Benicia before leaving one last time and moving to Sacramento.
We need to talk about this lichen that's on these rocks.
Ooh.
And I think this is pickleweed,
Yes, it is.
Wow, cool.
right? Because we're next to the marsh, right?
Yeah, so this is pickleweed.
This is not the first time we've run into pickleweed, so I think it's time for us to feature this wonderful little plant. Quoting from the Aquarium of the Pacific here, pickleweed species belongs to the goosefoot family, which includes the sugar beets and spinach. Salicornia virginica is a California native species of pickleweed. It has many common names, including turtleweed, glasswort, saltwort, Virginia pickleweed, samphire, and sea asparagus. The name pickleweed comes from the pickle-like appearance of its stem segments and its salty taste. It is a halophyte commonly found in estuaries and bays where there is a protection from wave action. It is often said that pickleweed can survive under conditions that no other salt-tolerant plant is able to. Pickleweed absorbs the salt from the watery marsh that it grows next to, and it sends that salt right on up into those little tender tips. And when those tiny tender tips are all full of salt, the plant kicks them off, starting the whole cycle over again. Native people used to use pickleweed in salads. They would also serve it steamed or pickled.
This is going to be our second stop. We're going to talk a little bit about different trails that are available and you guys being from Southern California, I'm sure you're aware that there's trails throughout the entire state. But this one is more dedicated to people who were local. So here in Benicia, we do have the Bay Area Ridge Trail. This trail does run throughout the entire Bay Area for the most part. We also do have the Benicia Community Park, and it's also known for the Rowley-Wiskerson Trail. And throughout this area, we also do have other local city and county parks. Yeah, but it's always a good thing to just kind of take a look at a map and see what areas are around you, what areas do provide trail access for the most part. You can always get in contact with your local Chamber of Commerce. Oftentimes, I will find that Chamber of Commerce do stock maps and things of different parks and trails that are in the area. So it's always a great place to stop by and ask about trails, especially if you're looking to, again, commune and come out with nature for the most part.
We kept walking with Julio and found ourselves under a big holm oak tree. Julio had us sit down and handed us some supplies he brought to do a small nature journaling session. It was such a welcome surprise and so cute that he had the supplies for us. So jumping in right here as he's explaining the moment.
Here is your little journal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I have some pencils.
Keeps it prepared.
Thank you.
Amazing.
So we're going to take some time to go ahead and, like I said, write anything that you saw that you want to reflect on. That could be plants, animals, feelings.
I first learned about nature journaling while listening to the fabulous podcast, The Golden State Naturalist. In it, Michelle, the host, talked about nature journaling and her attendance at an online nature journaling conference called the Wild Wonder Nature Journaling Conference. This was something that, as an art lover and creator, was mind-expanding. I quickly logged on to see if I could attend such a thing, even as a complete novice. I soaked up every moment as I participated in interesting workshops, from well-known artists and authors in the nature field to Jack himself, as he is known to the students, and many others. They gather to hear him speak, and most importantly, to see him teach. It was my first introduction to the idea of nature journaling. The way that Jack, aka John Muir Laws, explains it.
A nature journal is a lens that focuses our attention and crystallizes our observations, thoughts, and experiences. Nature journaling is collecting and organizing your observations, questions, connections, and explanations on the pages of a notebook using words, pictures, and numbers.
I was like, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could go all day.
We just finished our nature journaling. I also did want to talk about, in preparing for this program, I was doing a lot of research and reading things, and there was something that I found that I've never tried myself, but sounded really cool, and the next time I'm going through what I call the feelings, I may be trying this, but it was a recurring kind of idea that people were going out, could be their backyard, could be a park, sitting down and writing what they were feeling, how their day was going, things that had happened that they were kind of stuck on for the most part. But again, enjoying the peaceful quietness that you have. All right. Well, again, thank you.
Yes,
I hope,
We're going to see you again.
Exactly. Yes. I hope you have a wonderful day today.
Thank you. We had a great time.
Bye-bye.
Oh my god, that was so fun!
That was amazing.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, let's do a little wrap up. What do you think, Mo?
Oh my god. First of all, I think that the people that work at the Parks Department are precious.
Some of the most amazingly
They're just
nice
so
people out there.
nice.
charming fellow.
So fun.
So nice, so
what
kind.
A secret opportunity. We got our own private walk without even scheduling it. Oh, man. Julio, amazing. Thank you so much again.
Such a great time. Thank you for all your insight.
Wow. Okay. We're going to stop this. Wow. So cool. Bye.
Well, as you can hear there, we were on just met our first parks person high. But that wraps up our guided walk around Benicia SRA. I can't believe we had a private walk.
This place was a birders paradise. So many cool spots and nooks to peep the local flora, fauna, and fowl.
The park has 2.25 miles of paved road and bike path. Dogs and bicycles are allowed at the Benicia Bay Trail, part of the Bay Area Ridge Trail. California State Parks built the Benicia Bay Trail in collaboration with the Bay Area Ridge Trail Coalition and the San Francisco Bay Trail Foundation.
What about the fishing, Mo? Is there fishing?
Dillon Point offers prime shore fishing for sturgeon, starry flounder, and striped bass.
This place was beautiful, and we can't thank Julio enough. I wonder if we'll ever see him again.
Thanks again, Benicia SRA. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
If you've been liking our podcast, leave us a review. It helps other nature people find it. Rabbit foot
Who's that? Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Hello, good morning.
It's the State of the State Parks podcast with
Chris and Mo.